the last 20 years, we've seen quite a change in technology all across the board, and that definitely includes business. If anything, business has been one of the main reasons for the changing technology. One of the most important aspects to consider in the effect on business is how hardware has changed the human need in business places. With data storage, we no longer need vast amounts of filing cabinets with all kinds of papers and actually physically enter data. We can have a data processing machine enter in thousands upon thousands of customers, information, orders, anything we need at once. So storing information digitally was really one of the first big steps in business computing. At the point at which businesses no longer had to spend resources to store the information for their customers, their orders, for the government, taxes, etc., they were able to much more efficiently and inexpensively take care of those needs. So that makes the cost of operating go down, it makes the speed of operating go up. It's good for everyone all across the board. The other big things that technology did was being able to display data to anyone across the world, being able to not have to actually have a physical copy of data is invaluable in business. The fact that you don't have to use up additional resources to, one, move, or to actually recreate data allows for businesses to operate much more smoothly, as well as much more efficiently. If you think of just the last 100 years, mail has taken us from horseback to email, which arrives in a matter of milliseconds in some cases, compared to the months that it would take for a business to send an order across the United States. In terms of software, there is a massive field of different types of software. Two that I'd like to concentrate on are office software, such as Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and professional editing software for musicians, artists, people like that. Whenever it comes to office software, before the word processor was invented, any data that we needed to store, any documents we needed to store, we didn't have a computerized digital way of doing that in any form. It was exclusively handwritten, which means that every hour that someone had to make a document had to be paid by a business. The change in that alone is significant. Tablets and smartphones. In today's world, smartphones exist in pretty much every pocket. That means that every customer is constantly connected to the pulse of the world, basically. The internet allows them to find out updates from companies, from producers, anyone around the world instantly. They can receive text messages from their boss, their employees, etc. Apps allow for individual evolution of the smartphone. It basically allows any creative person the ability to meet what they consider to be a need that people can utilize in their pockets. We have seen services come out on the smartphone like Instagram that creates millions upon millions of photos around the world in every single day. Because of the fact that every person can take out their phone, take a picture, upload it to the internet, and have it happen in seconds, we now literally have a portrait of our world being painted every day that we didn't have. Whenever it comes to tablets, the ability to instantly utilize web browsers, word editors, a calculator even, all in the same powerful device, one screen, no need for any inputs, peripherals, a mouse or keyboard, just being able to touch and swipe through the internet. The convenience of it allows any user across the world to access an entire vast world of information that didn't even exist 10, 20 years ago. And particularly from a business standpoint, it allows an efficient employee to constantly be connected to the important information that they consider.
We're going to talk about communications and technology.
Social media has had and is continuing to have a huge impact on businesses, marketing, and how businesses engage with their consumers. The use of social media to share and engage with others continues to grow at an astounding rate. Response time has been cut down drastically. Things happen within days instead of months. Revenues have risen significantly in the past few years because of social media. Almost 3 million people have a Twitter account, and Facebook has 1.4 billion profiles.
Email is the most widely used form of communication through businesses. Large amounts of important use of email in a business can greatly increase productivity. It's proven to be one of the most highly effective forms of communication. It can't replace face-to-face communication, but it can send simple messages. The possibilities are endless from a business perspective.
Social media continues to have huge influence on businesses, marketing, and on how businesses engage with their target market. The use of social media to share and engage with others continues to grow at an astounding rate. Response time has been cut down drastically. Things happen within days instead of months. Revenues have significantly risen within the past few years because of social media. Almost 3 million people have a Twitter account. Facebook has 1.4 billion profiles.
Email is the most widely used form of business communication. The use of email in a business can greatly increase their productivity. It has been proven to be one of the most highly effective forms of communication in a business.
Hi, you guys. My name is Joshua Jackson. I'm now the new manager of Dirty's Bar and Grill here in Charleston, Illinois. And we use technology in 3 main different ways. First is our POS system. Second is our computers here in the office. And third is our basic social media attributes. Our second form of technology that we use here at Dirty's Bar and Grill will be considered our computers, which is, this is what we have. No. Our second form of technology that we use here at Dirty's will be our computers. Mainly they're here in the office. As you can see, our computer, our security cameras, as well as our main computer that we send emails and things off like that. We use technology here basically to get in touch with vendors and other companies so we can bring in more product for you guys. Our third form would be basically our social media. And just like any social media, we will have our Facebook, we will have a Twitter, and we also have Instagram. We have, just like everyone else, has on this iPad we can access things such as our Twitter, our Instagram, and our Facebook. Basically, this is a form of accessing those different accounts without having to use these computers here. So we can walk around, take pictures of our food items, and get them out to the public faster by using social networks like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our first form of technology that we use here at Dirty's Bar and Grill would be our POS system. Basically, that is our way of making sure that the business is running smoothly. Without those POS systems, which is basically how we type in everything that the customer wants and what they order, without that we would have to use paper and pen, which a negative to that is it gets food delivered to us faster, which gets food delivered to you faster.
I'm here at Jackson Avenue Coffee with the owner, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions about how technology has affected your business, your thoughts on it. So, first question, when did you start managing your business and why?
I started managing the business when we purchased it about 4.5 years ago. Coming into it, never really had any experience and had to figure out, and it was a long learning curve trying to figure out how to manage things from employees to purchases to taxes to everything else. But I had to learn that stuff or else we wouldn't be able to operate.
Yeah. How long have you had a website or social media?
We've had a website even before I purchased the business. There was a website, but it was hard to find and there wasn't really anything on it. We've had an active website for about 3 years, and we've been trying to update it. Had someone come in and update it a couple of years ago, and it still needs some update. That's probably our weakest point is the website. It could be a lot stronger, convey better messages to our customers, and actually generates some business for us, where right now I don't think it does much of that. But it is.
Would you say that there's any way that technology affected those learning processes or assisted you in the efficiency of those processes?
Oh, greatly, greatly. Just the basics, just employees clocking in. We use a POS system, point of sale system, and all the employees clock in through that system. It keeps track of hours exactly. It's much better than if someone's writing it down. And it's also an advantage if someone comes in and they forget to clock in here by themselves, they can't even run the register until they clock in. So it reminds them they need to be clocked in. Clocking out is another thing. People forget sometimes. Using QuickBooks, to keep track of the checking account and ordering history and things like that. I do all my ordering online for my food products. I hardly ever talk to the sales rep. So the technology has made all the difference.
Would you say that you've seen any significant issues caused by technology in your business?
The only issues are when the major changes come up. The POS system, they'll have software updates. And the hardest part is because I'm running a front and a rear computer, some of the updates will update both computers, some don't update both computers and you don't want them to, some don't update both computers but you want them to. So that's been the only difficulty I've had with technology as far as running the shop. Most of the time it's fine other than had a hard drive go bad. But that's not because of the technology, just piece of firmware.
What would you say the biggest issue that you've been able to solve in the business with technology is?
I would have to say that it's been with looking at cost-cutting areas. Technology has allowed me to go through and look at my percentage of operating costs per category. Payroll hours are high, coffee expenses are high, this is high, that's high. And it's let me see where the majority of my money is going, where I can make the greatest changes in the business by trimming here. I've been able to just punch in, okay, if I cut 10 hours off employee hours, what's that going to do to my bottom line? So it's let me look at the business and project changes and what it will do for us.
Awesome. Looking into the future, is there any technology you would like to see come out or that you would like to be able to utilize, maybe that's currently out of your price range or maybe that hasn't quite made mainstream yet?
Nothing new that I know of. I would like to, I have the capability in my software to do things that I'm not doing now, mostly because of the setup time for it. Inventory control. If I had my inventory control set up the way it's capable of being set up, my ordering would be so easy. It would just automatically tell me I need this new product. It would also control, or at least indicate to me when there's overpouring of things going on. You're supposed to put in 1 pump of this, 2 pumps of that, and when you add those up with the drinks and what we're using, it would help me indicate where there might be some problems. As far as new technology, I don't know of anything. I'm doing good just to keep up with the technology I have and hopefully maybe using more of it that I have at my disposal.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. I think that'll do it.